Travel safety tips for women. If you are new to this channel, welcome. My name is Salwa. I am a full-time traveler, aka digital nomad, and an online business coach. And in this video, I'm going to cover with you a few tips you can use if you are traveling on your own to protect yourself. I have been traveling on my own for the last 3 years in 3 different continents, over 25 countries, and I'm going to continue to travel alone because it's so exciting. So one thing that stops women to travel alone is safety, because we're afraid that things might happen to us, especially when our surrounding is afraid for us as well. But I have to tell you, after all these years of traveling, nothing ever happened to me. But I used common sense, and I will share with you a couple of tips that you should know if you are taking on your first international trips or if you are going somewhere new, and you can still use these tips even if you have traveled before. So let's get started. The first thing you should do is to get travel insurance. There's a lot of travel insurance out there. Make sure you have one that protects yourself if anything happens in the country you are into. The second thing is you should notify your embassy to let them know where you're going to be at all times. So if there's anything happening, they can always contact your family in case of emergency. Next, if you have a lot of electronics like me, I carry a laptop, a camera, DSLR, I have an iPad, an iPhone, and a lot of other tools that cost a lot of money. Make sure you insure them, because if anything happens, at least you are somewhat insured. But I gotta tell you, last year I got my iPhone stolen, and to be honest, it's my fault because I put my guard down. It was in Brussels, where I actually lived and grew up in Belgium, so I didn't think I didn't think somebody's gonna steal from me in the country I grew up in, especially when I traveled to so many places. Somebody stole it from my bag, and I made a terrible mistake. Is that I had my phone with it was like a phone wallet, and I had credit cards and ID, and they took it all. This was very bad because I couldn't access to my money. 3 of my credit cards got stolen, and I didn't have any IDs left, so I had to go to the police, get a police report, and it took me months before I got my credit cards back. I had to ask for people to give me cash, and in exchange I would have made a wire transfer. So I learned from that mistake, and I would always leave credit cards or debit cards at home, which leads me to my next tip. Make sure you leave debit cards and cash in different places, in different pockets. That way, if you lose one, you at least have a backup. Along with that, wear a fanny pack. I love fanny pack. I put it under my clothes. I still wear it even here in the US. First of all, it's easy access because I usually have a backpack, and then I have my fanny pack up front. And in my fanny pack, I have my essentials, my phone, my keys, bank card, cash, and that stays with me at all time. Even if I'm in a cafe and I need to get up to the bathroom, this is always with me. And also I have extra at home in case something happens. Make a copy of all your documents. Make, I would say, at least 2 copies, and you have a copy that you're gonna leave in your luggage at your hotel or wherever you're staying at. And the other copy should be on you in your backpack. Just in case you're losing one, you have a backup. And the document should be a photocopy of your passports and ID. Take photos of your debit and credit cards, because even if you don't have it, you may be able to still do transaction online. And whenever you call your bank to cancel it, they will ask you for the 4-digit of your bank cards. And if you don't have that, you can't even make that transaction. You should have your emergency contact printed out. You should actually learn by heart at least one of your emergency contact, just in case you are lost somewhere and you don't have a phone. You can at least ask for somebody to make a call, and since you know the number of that person, they can make arrangement for you. One time my mother got robbed on her way to Morocco as she was driving, and they took everything: passport, documents, money, everything. But thankfully she knew my number by heart. She asked a stranger if she could use his phone, and they called me, and then I took care of everything. I was in Belgium, she was in Spain, and I made sure to call the insurance. I did everything because I had a backup of every numbers, and so that was very helpful. Also, learn the emergency contact of the city you're in. What is the police phone number? You should have these as well in case something happens. So here in Chicago, there was a shootout on my street a couple weeks ago, and that terrified me. And a friend of mine told me that there is an app called Citizen, and this app actually tell you what's going on in your neighborhood as far as crime rates whenever it happens, and it sends you a notification. So this is like I'm a little iffy with that. It's good to have it so you'll know what's going on before you leave the house, but I also don't recommend to watch this constantly because it's going to affect your mind and then you're going to start getting scared and you're not going to do anything else. My other things for you is to pay attention to your surrounding at all times. Do not wear headphones with music on, especially in an area you don't know. Be mindful, because when you listen to music or a podcast or whatever, you are distracted and you cannot see and hear what's going on. So although it's fun to have music on and walk, I love that as well. I actually do not do it ever because I need to pay attention to what's going on in front of me, behind me, including in the subway or any public transportations. My next tip for you ladies, do not get drunk whenever you go out in a strange place or in a foreign place. I know we all like our glass of wine and have a good time, but at the end of the day, if you are on your own, you have to be careful. Maybe have 1 drink or 2, know your limits. To not get wasted. This is the worst way. You can be so vulnerable and things can happen. So make sure to always pay attention to that, and also make sure to pay attention to your drink. So be careful. If somebody want to buy you a drink and you say yes, go with that person to the bar, watch everything, and then don't leave your drink unattended. That's how drugs are put in drinks, and that's how you can get really vulnerable and God knows what can happen. Along with that, blend in. It is very important that you're not too flashy because otherwise you're going to attract attention. And I'm talking about a lot of cleavage, a lot of jewelry, flashing all your electronics and money. You have to be careful. I want everybody to dress the way they want, but not only if you're a country you don't know, because if you are too flashy, you are going to be noticed and you may even be an easy target. So do your best to kind of cover yourself up, especially if you are in conservative countries, so that way you don't attract too much attention on yourself, and ultimately what we want is for you to be safe. Another thing that I do is if I get bothered by some guy and they follow me and they ask me about my husband or my boyfriend, I say, yes, I'm married. Sometimes I wear a ring, but I say I'm married, and if they ask, where's your husband? We are on a business trip and he's at work, you know, or he'll be right there. I'm waiting for him right now. And you can, another thing, if you feel followed and you feel threatened, just approach a guy at maybe a security guard if you see one by a building, or just random people. Hopefully they'll be nice, and you just pretend and just say, listen, I've been followed, can you please pretend to be with me? And honestly, most of the time they will help you. In Morocco, this has been difficult because I've been followed a lot. Sometimes I got followed with a car when I was walking and I had to start navigate the streets. I've been followed with a motorbike who was trying to, I was with my friend, they were trying to pickpocket us, and it actually happened to my friend. We were walking, you know, randomly in Marrakesh, and they drove on the sidewalk with the scooter. There were 2 guys and they tried to snatch my friend's bag. Thankfully she had a purse like this. They didn't catch it, but we were on our own. We even went to the police and there's nothing we could do. So imagine if they had gotten her passport and her phone and her documents. So things like that, you just simply have to be mindful. Wear your fanny pack underneath your clothes. Don't be too flashy, and be mindful of your surroundings. And my last tip for you is to be confident. You know, when I say confidence, I means that energy of confidence. When you walk, when you talk, like walk with confidence. Many times I got lost and I said, you know what? I can't stop here. I'm gonna keep walking like I live here. And I kept walking until I found a safe area, and then I would take out my phone and I would look at the direction. Have that intuition, sense your surrounding. It's very important that you build that intuition and you listen and be like, uh-oh, no, this street, it doesn't look good. Let me turn around. Or I'm not stopping here. Or I'm sitting next to the driver of this bus because I'm not feeling this. Like, don't be afraid to do that. There's no shame in doing that. We want you to be safe, and I think that this confidence really comes with time and with experience. I think when people trying to hurt you, they will try to see if you're an easy target and if you're weak. I'm not saying this isn't gonna happen to me. What I'm saying is it has never happened to me, and my younger sister as well, because I feel like we have that aura and energy where we like look around like, don't F with us. I really have this look when I walk, because I walk on a mission, and usually I can tell I'm not Wonder Woman, things can happen, but I think I have that advantage, and it comes with being on your own and being really good at paying attention to what's going on around you. Please go ahead and travel. This is a wonderful world out there. There's so much to see. Don't watch too much of the media and the news because they only portray negative things, and instead look at the bright side of all the beautiful things you can do by going out there and travel. For me, it has been an amazing journey. I'm so beyond grateful that I'm able to run an online business and allows me to travel full time, and I'm not ready to end just yet. I have tons of video on this channel about the digital nomad lifestyle, so do not forget to subscribe. And I also have a course that can teach you how to become a location independent business so you too can work from anywhere, and I'm gonna leave the link down below. Do not forget to subscribe. Thank you again for watching this video, and I'll see you next week for more videos like this. I sent you lots of kisses, and bye bye.